Hi everyone, it's Nicole Nikki. Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's Tuesday. And as you can see, I have a different look. This is my Rapunzel look because this hair is really long. So I know it's a little different, but again, I told you, you shouldn't know what to expect from me from week to week. So this is my Rapunzel look. Okay, now that we got that out the way, as you can see, I'm in a different environment. I just thought it became mundane for me to always tape in my bedroom. So I'm in a different part of my place right now. So let's get started. As you can see, it's Tuesday and I'm bringing you a new makeup video because it's Tuesday. And I did a smoky eye, and I actually did a brown smoky eye. And I kind of left this eye bare because this is the eye we're gonna do, the one I'm gonna show you. So today I'm gonna be using my Morphe 35O palette. This palette has everything. It has all the transition colors and shimmer colors you could possibly need. So if you don't have this palette, pick this up. This is a must-have in your collection. So let's get started. I'm going to use a mirror because I can't really see without one, and this palette doesn't have one. So I like to start out with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, and it's just an eyeshadow base to kind of keep your shadows from creasing. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And I like to use the least amount of brushes as I possibly can. I like to simplify my life. So my main brushes I'm going to be using today are the Sigma E40 blending brush, and it's just a tapered blending brush, and my e.l.f. crease brush, which is just a really small brush, crease brush, and it's a little tapered. And I'm also going to be using my MAC 224 blending brush, and it's just a really fluffy blending brush to kind of blend everything out. And this is just a bonus brush that I'm going to be using. It's my Coastal Scents BR-C-S20. It's a flat shader brush. You don't have to use this. You can use your fingers to put your paint pot on, because again, I like to simplify my life and use the least amount of brushes as possible. So actually, I'm going to use my finger. We're going to take this one away. Okay, so I just dip my finger in the paint pot, and I just kind of use this as a base all over my eye. Keep my shadows from creasing. And it's just like a beige color, and it really makes your shadows pop as well. And I kind of wrap it around and take it under my eye because I want my shadows to really be stay in place. So I wrap it around my whole eye. Okay, now that we got that done, you want to keep this closed because this dries out really quickly. I'm going to try not to say really so much, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, so first I take my Sigma E40 blending brush, and I go into this color here. It's the third color from the left, and this is just a transition color. Your transition colors go right above your crease and right below your brow bone, so right in here. And it just helps your shadows. It makes them easier to blend out, so everything's really gradient and flows really nicely. Did I say really? Anyway, it makes it flow nicely. Okay, so I dip it in there and I tap, tap, tap. And I just take it in my transition area. And I do windshield wiper motions, but I like to add some circles in there too, because the circular motion actually helps to blend out your shadows. It distributes the color more than just in that area where you're doing the windshield wiper motion. So I really like to do that. And I take it up to close to my brow, so everything's nice and blended. Go back in there. Same thing. Okay, next I'm going to deepen it a bit. I'm going to go into this color here, second from the left. I don't know. The colors are on the back, so I don't know. So it's this one right here. And I'm going to put that right in my crease area. And again, I just do tiny circles and windshield wiper motion. Tiny circles, just to make sure I distribute that color evenly. Okay, so I'm gonna deepen it a little more, and I'm gonna go into this color right here, the fourth one from the top. And I just take that and I put that in my crease color as well. And I'm using a really light hand. If you can see, I'm holding the end of the brush because you want to use a light hand so that you really don't pay attention to me in my release, so that you don't concentrate that color on just those areas where you're blending back and forth. You want to distribute it real evenly. So that's just all I'm doing. I'm using really light fairy hands because when you use a heavy hand, it can skip your shadows and you get those skip marks in your shadows. And I'm famous for doing that on myself. I don't do it on anyone else, but I guess because I know how much pressure I can take on my eye, I just get to digging. So that's not good. And I'm still deepening that crease. Windshield wiper motions, circular motions. And I'm gonna go a little deeper. I'm gonna go into this color, 4th from the left on the 3rd row down. I just tap it in there. And I know you're thinking that I'm using a lot of shadows, but if you want that gradient effect, if you really want to blend, these to blend well when you're doing a smoky eye, you have to make sure it's blended. Doing a smoky eye is all about blending. In a light hand. Okay. So now that we have those colors down, and I think I blended that enough, I'll go into my MAC Blacktrack. And it's just an eyeliner, a gel eyeliner, but I'm gonna use this as my base to put on my lid, my mobile lid, to really make my dark colors pop. I don't wanna dig my finger in here, so I'm gonna use my flat shader brush, my Coastal Scents flat shader brush. And I take a little bit on the brush, just a little bit, and I put that on my mobile lid. And I'm gonna take this close to my crease line, but not all the way up. So I'm just doing like that. Can you see what I'm doing? Think cut crease. I'm just taking it right to my crease area. And I'm making sure I put it all over my mobile lid. So it's nice and opaque. Because I'm going to blend this out anyway and put shadow over it. You see what I did? Okay. So now you got to blend this out pretty quickly because it is gel liner and it dries quick. You're going to close this right up because for some reason these gel liners and paint pots, they dry out quickly. Okay, so I take my Sigma E40 brush and I'm going to go into this 3rd color from the top, this orangey color, and I'm going to blend out just that crease area. Because again, a smoky eye is all about blending. So I'm just blending out that harsh line in my crease area. Like that. And again, fairy hands. I can actually put the mirror down because this is going to be a while. Because a smoky eye, you have to make sure this is blended. Otherwise, you can get that raccoon look. Not good, ladies. Not good. That's a no-no. So you want to prevent that. And you blend. I have some smooth jazz playing in the background. Can you hear it? I like my smooth jazz. I like Norman Brown. Who's one of my favorites? Boney James. I'm a smooth jazz girl. Blend for your life. Did I blend it? I'm gonna do the hand. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into this deep fudge color. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th color over from the left. I don't know what color this is. Can you see? And I just dip it in there, pat, and I put that all over my mobile lid. I pat. And you can actually use your flat shader brush, the brush you use to apply your black gel liner. Just dip it in there because a flat shader brush will really pack on that color. And when you pack on that color, you want to make sure it's all over your mobile lid. And it's really concentrated in that area, even though you're going to blend it out. And I go back in with my E40 and I blend. I'm still in the crease area blending. I'm still blending. Circular motions and windshield wiper motions. And I'm using a fairy hand. I'm going to go back into this deep color here that I used, this orange, and this color down here. And I'm in the crease. And I'm blending. And don't worry about if you lose some of your color on your lid, some of that dark fudge color, because you can always pack that back on. Is that blended enough? Almost. So I think I need to pack on some more of that fudge color, but I'm gonna pack it on after I do this. Pack on a little more fudge with my flat shader brush. because I lost some of the pigmentation when I was blending. And I go in with my MAC 224 blending brush, this fluffy one. And this is what you use to blend, to bring everything together. And I'm right in my transition area, and I'm just blending. Again, windshield wiper motion and circular motions. Because the smoky eye, you want you don't want any harsh lines in your shadows. And I try not to go past the end of my eye, this part right here. The thing about it, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys a story when I'm doing this. I'll tell you a story when I'm down the bottom. I know it's like you seem like you have to blend a lot, and you do. If you want the smoky eye to be really nice and smoky and even, you have to blend. Is that blended enough? Yes, that's pretty much blended. Try not to go past this area, but if you do, don't worry about it because we can always clean that up. So I think that's blended enough. What do you guys think? Yes, that's blended enough. And you can always go back and blend if you don't feel like it's blended enough. Can you see? Okay, blended. Okay, so now I want to go down the bottom and smoke that bottom my lash line out. So today I'm using my Jordana Espresso eyeliner, kohl eyeliner. An espresso, but because I'm doing a chocolate smoky eye, I'm just going to use a chocolate eyeliner. And I just line the bottom of my eye, my waterline. That's this little area right where your eyeball is. Where your lower lash line starts. And I go back and forth and try to make it as deep as possible. And I actually go a little bit below my lash line when I'm doing this. And it doesn't matter because I want to smoke it out. So I'm going to take my, you know what? I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush, this little small dome brush, because it helps me to really smoke that area out. So I use the same colors that I use to go up top, down the bottom. Except for my transition color. I'm going into this deep color. I'm going to mix them. These two colors. Fourth down from the top and the second down from the top, second row. And I dip it in those two. Again, the same colors I use for up top, I'm using down the bottom. And I'm smoking left to right. And I really like a blown out smoky eye. I like it to really look blown out. I don't like it to look really nice and neat, like this eye. And now I'm going into that orangey color, this color here. And I just use the tip of my brush to tap it in there. The reason why I tap color off my brushes when I'm doing this is because you don't want to just throw that color on your eye. You want to tap it off to tap off any excess product. You just need enough to put it under there, and you want to have some kind of control of where you place your product. Going back into that orange, and I'm really blending that out, blending left to right. Now I'm going into Mr. Fudge here, this one here. Tap, 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 same thing, left to right. Whatever you do to lefty, you want to do to righty. Oh, wait, so back to my story. Well, to start my story, I'm just blending and dipping in the colors that I used. Let me hurry up and finish this so you can see what I'm doing. And if you don't think it's well blended, just to clean it up. If you want to clean it up, I don't have any products to clean it up down here. Shoot. Nonetheless, just to clean this up, if you wanted to clean your eye and you don't think it's neat enough, if you feel like you did too much of a smoky eye and it starts to look raccoonish like, you just take your flat shader brush, clean it off, of course. Take this and dip it in I would suggest your foundation. Dip it in your foundation. Clean your brush off first with a blush cleaner and dip it into your foundation. Close that. And just kind of take it and make it nice and neat. Like draw it from right underneath your eye up to your eyebrow. So just take your foundation and take it straight up from your lower lash line all the way to your brow. Drag it down and blend it out with your finger. So it's a nice sharp line under there. So that shadow really looks nice and neat. But again, because I like the blown out look, I don't mind this look at all. I did it on this side. And that's pretty much it for a smoky eye. I went a little wild with it, but that's okay. Makeup is not a tattoo. Don't freak out if you feel like you made a mistake with makeup, because you can always wipe it off. It's just makeup. So anyway, every expert was once an amateur, girls, so you gotta start somewhere. So that's it for my smoky eye. What'd you think? Okay, real quick, the story I was about to tell you guys. I'm gonna clean up my mess. I remember a couple weeks back, I was going in on a friend. They did something that was really upsetting to me. So I was just kind of going in on them and telling them what they need to do to better themselves. And I mean, I'm going hard, respectfully, because my friend, and I love them, but it's like in the middle of the conversation, I got instantly convicted. Oh, wait, hold on before I finish that. I use my, once you're done your smoky eye, I use a little mascara and then pop my lashes on. Good to go. All right, now back to the story. So I'm going in on them and I'm telling them what they need to do to better themselves. And instantly, it's like God convicted me. I know we all probably have been there where we're in a moment of self and God steps in. It was like he was observing the conversation while I'm fussing and going in. And it was like he was just sitting there like, really? Like, really, you telling somebody else what they need to do to better their life? What about what you need to do to better your life? You know, these small sacrifices you're giving me, you saying, oh, I'm gonna fast from 6 a.m. to 12 noon and I'm just gonna do just liquids. He's like, no. Even though he appreciates the sacrifices that we make, I'm not a babe in Christ anymore. And once you're not a babe in Christ anymore, you're off the milk like a baby. You're no longer on milk. You on solid foods. So if you want a big blessing, you got to make big sacrifices. Because some blessings are conditional. Let me see a good story I can use. A parent, okay? Yes, we provide food and shelter to our children. That's something we do for them because we love them and they're our children. But if we want to give them allowance every week, they got to do some things for that. They got to clean up and do chores and everything. So those blessings that we give them, that allowance, is conditional. And God is the same way. You know, we can't just do whatever we want to do and try to tell everybody else what they need to do, and we don't take a good look at ourselves and do a self-assessment and just do better, because he wants us to do better. He wants us to have all the blessings that he has for us. And in order for us to receive those, some blessings are conditional. We have to actually work for some of those blessings. So I just wanted to share that short story with you. Again, I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. I will see you next Tuesday, and thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed week, everyone. Mwah.